It's me again. The sit test that we're going to do is basically going to be a daylight version of what we would do in the dark. So here we go. The test stand's been set up, aligned with the mirror down there. We've gone through all that. We're ready to actually do a sit test. So we've got the slit in here, and there it is. It's illuminating. There. The camera's on. And now we're going to put the mask on the mirror. So here's a mask that I've made for this particular mirror. I'm going to set it on there. Now just because this fits this 10-inch mirror doesn't mean it's going to fit every 10-inch mirror. Because of this difference in this bevel, every one of these masks are a hair different. I like to have a little bar across here to put my level on, and I don't have one here. So we're going to fake it here. It also keeps this guy straight. If this guy bends at all, then the test could be imperfect. So here we go. And as you can see, it's a little low there. So zap. And a little bit over there. Doink. Went too far a bit. Yeah. All right, you get the point. We level this guy out. After it's, then that wasn't it, but you would really do it. Now after we do that, we've got a little notch on the side of that hole and on the side of that hole. So we want to make sure that after it's leveled, that chamfer and that chamfer are both exactly the same, at which time the mask is level and perfectly centered. Then I got the skirt on that side. That's a Servant mirror, by the way. And then I'm going to put the blouse on that, so the only thing showing are those 15 holes. I put tape around here as a targeting thing so that when I point my laser down here, it's easy to get onto the center. Okay. Down on this end here, I'll go ahead and turn on my laser. I'm doing this with one hand and operating the junk here with the other. So I don't know if you can see down there, but I'm going to put that laser right on that hole. Come on, you can do it. Okay, my test stand's just decided to be a stuck-up little pig dog. I can't do this with one hand, it takes two. So pretend that I put that laser's dot in that hole. Just pretend I did. And then it comes back and would hit this guy back here. It's not, because I'm doing this with one hand here. Once it's all lined up, then we leveled off the mask. Now we're going to level off the camera. And so now, since I'm doing this with one hand, I'm going to fake it again. I'll level the camera off. And I can't do this with one hand, and I'm holding the camera with one hand and doing this crap with the other. There we go. Get that guy level. So you'll get the mask down there level, you get this guy level, and then we're going to shoot. So what I do is I turn off all the lights. You can't have any lights on at all. You can't have like an LED from a charger. You can't have like LED on a smoke detector. You can't have any light leaking under the door. It's got to be black in here. So I don't have a chip in this camera, but I'll just go through the routine. I would set my camera up so that it would be, and it's not going to do it because there's no card. Oh, there we go. A 4-second exposure at ASA 400. And then I would go click with my remote so I don't have to touch it. And get myself a 4-second exposure. That's just a test exposure. At that point, I want to make sure that the slits on here are all lined up across level and that they fill up almost the whole screen. Also, if the slit here is not plumb, there's the slit. Yeah, I got my laser on. And there's the slit. You see the slit there? Okay. It needs to be plumb. And if it isn't, when you take your test exposure, if the camera and the mask are not level with each other, then they'll have a tilt, and you make them so that they're perfectly going across. The bottom of the slits are all level. And then you make sure that the slits don't have like a tilt to them. That would be the case if the slit was not plumb. So the slit's plumb, the camera's level, and the mask is level, it should all work out. Next thing is your test exposure. Maybe all 15 slits only fit from here to here. Well, then you roll this guy back, and they'll spread out. You take another test exposure, and you'll know they're right when they almost fill the whole screen. Now, if they fill the whole screen, if you got a slit around the edge, it won't work because when you try to box it in on image J, you'll never get it to fit. So you got to have a little black space between the edge of the frame and the outermost slit. You're going to have 15 slits here. Now that you got a test exposure and you got it all situated the way you want to do it, you'll dial the thing up to a 30-second exposure. Okay, for me, it's a 30-second exposure at ASA 400 with those holes down there. Gives me a histogram that comes out to about 75% over here, which is what we're after. And that is it. It's really remarkable. It's that fast. It's, to me, quicker than Focalt testing. It's more reliable. It's more repeatable. It's as reliable as a caustic test, only the caustic test takes you like 3 hours to do right. And we're going to go in. We're going to run the data now.